Yeah, I am live. Okay. Facebook. Okay. Hi. Hello. Hello. The lighting's going to be kind of funny because it's dark outside, and that might help a little. I think you can still see this okay. You're finally seeing me live? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like 7:24 here in the evening. I've been thinking about doing lives more sometimes during the day. Alright, I gotta get this. This is gonna take a minute. I'm gonna have to go to OBS because my face there. Okay. There's going to be a bit of a lag. You can't sleep. So I've been trying to create some doodles for my patrons. And I thought these are for November, and I thought I'd do some work while I chat. It's been a while since I did a journal with me, and I am trying to prepare for NaNoWriMo. I don't know why I keep saying camp. You love the doodles? Thank you. I messed up on the pumpkins. I cannot draw a damn pumpkin to save my life, y'all. So, one of the things that I've noticed for me lately has been that the more that I do like art in different ways, like adding collage bits. Did I get a haircut? I cut my hair myself a few weeks ago. Hello. Hey, Hey, Tamara. I'm gonna do a write-in with you. I'm participating in NaNoWriMo, but I have been trying to get everything settled here, cleaning, cooking, art, all kinds of stuff, trying to get everything ready so that November and writing, so that writing is my top priority. Okay, yeah, I cut my hair. It's actually longer than it looks because it's cutting off some of the length, cut off some of the weight. So it drew up. Okay. So I've been trying to get everything. Thank you. Yeah, well, now almost all of that dye is off of it. So it's pretty much my natural color now, and that also got rid of the dead ends and the fuzziness on the ends. It was starting to feel a little bit like pine straw. And the parts that felt like that were getting really knotted. They were dry, and yeah, because you can't wait to have you on a live stream. Yes, you have yet to, a year later, do the interview with me. You will get to it eventually. I should have recorded it. Recorded what, cutting my hair? Oh, no. I kept cutting. What happened is I started out with my little scissors, and all I started doing, because of curly hair, you have to be kind of careful. All I was doing originally was cutting off the split ends, cutting off the dead pieces. That's all I was doing. And as I got into, I didn't realize I had as many split ends as I did. So that was, it took a lot more off. My hair was really long. It took a lot more off than I wanted, but that's okay. Because now it's healthy. So I thought this would be more relaxed. It's Wednesday, and it's the night before Halloween. And I'm kind of excited. It's supposed to rain and storm here, so I'm not sure if I'll even be able to go trick-or-treating with my grandkids, because I'm not sure they'll be able to go. Oh crap, you forgot about the interview. Yeah, we can do it next month. It's okay. But I thought tonight would be pretty relaxed. I thought I'd do some journaling while we do the live chat. The great thing about my patrons is that they know I don't know how to do Photoshop. So what they get are actual PDFs of my real drawings. So little mistakes and everything. They look very real. They're not touched up with Photoshop. I haven't altered them. I wish I could clean it up a little, because I'd clean up my pumpkin mess. You know, I have no idea how to do Photoshop. If somebody could do where they made this after I scanned it and created lots of little ones and bigger ones and individual ones and stuff like that, and cleaned it up a little without me having to pay for it would be wonderful. I've got to learn how to do Photoshop. I had a friend who was supposed to come over and teach me, but she had some stuff come up. So hopefully she'll be able to do that soon. And because I really need to learn. But till then, for those of my patrons who can use Photoshop, they're more than welcome to clean it up and print it as stickers. But they do get them, so they can print them out and cut them and put them in their journals. Which I suppose, in a way, is probably, I don't know. I like the not perfect look. I like watercolors. I like stickers that look watercolored and illustrated. A lot of notebook and book and coffee cup and all kinds of stickers that I have have that kind of look. The ones that I buy, like from Etsy and stuff, some of them have that look, and I really especially like. I did some weather doodles for my patrons, y'all. I have to scan this. These are some of them. I'm going to do some more. This was done on watercolor paper. I did some other stuff. These have all got to be scanned. A turkey leg for Thanksgiving. I've got to do a Thanksgiving. I'm going to do like a turkey. And there's a cell phone and Happy Mail sticker. I've got to do a turkey, so I'm going to do another page. I'm going to do a cute, fun turkey. You know, and I don't know. Maybe another turkey I don't know. But I like the not perfect look. So even if I could with Photoshop touch things up, all I would touch up is where I messed up really bad. Like, you know, And really all I really want from Photoshop is to be able to separate these individually, make them smaller and bigger, and then put them together in like sheets. Yeah, if perfect, they'd be photos. Yeah, no life. So to me, I like, it's like that lady who has the Etsy shop. Perfectly imperfect. So I think it's really cool. So I don't feel like bad whenever I do these. I do the best I can. I spend a lot of time trying to figure out, you know, what I want to do. I draw a lot of these from either memory, or I'll pick up an image like in the kids, how to draw like a pumpkin for kids, or how to draw like you know, something, and I'll just draw it. You like the character. Yeah, me too. I'm not a big fan of orange, like, but I love oranges. But I do like fall colors. I do like dark orange, and I do, there's this color in Daniel Smith that's right here. We're going to put it right here. It's a gorgeous orange. So I like the darker, deeper, like I love the dark brown, dark plum, colors like that. I love those colors. So whenever I do stuff, usually it's those are some of the colors that I choose, are the darker fall colors like plum, dark deep rust orange, this orange. What is this orange called? I don't know because I can't read it, but it's number 6346218 with Schminka. Starts with a TH. It's something orange. TR? TH? I cannot read it. TR. Translucent, maybe? Maybe it's translucent orange. I think it is translucent orange. But it's gorgeous. So with NaNoWriMo coming up, it's a Schminka color. With NaNoWriMo coming up, I'm like super excited because I really want to finish my witchy business novel, and I was. But I started reading this book about journaling. I ordered it from Amazon. It was recommended to me. Hello. The book was recommended to me by somebody. Let's see if I can find the book. Real quick. So this is the book that was recommended. And it's okay. You saw the unboxing? Yes. 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 This is the cover, that the cloth paper cover. If I had an A6, it's fabric, y'all. This is becoming my bullet journal. Except for the writing part. It is this gorgeous wine red, burgundy, purpley color. It's like a plum, and it matches. Now, I'm going to still use my Hobonichi cover on cover, the clear cover on my black with the coffee thing. But anyway, I got this book, and it's, all right, let me move these before they get messed up, and then my patrons don't. So it's actually pretty decent. This is, some of what is in here is actually how I journal. I just do this in multiple journals. But I've been thinking, I used to do it in one journal. So what I've been thinking about, I want to do a class. I want to create a class that's about creative journaling. Not how to draw. I mean, drawing and watercoloring will be part of it. But then I'm not talking about planning. I'm not talking about bullet journaling. I'm not talking about omni journaling. I'm talking about creative journaling, where you add collage, where you do text journaling, where you journal about your day, like you process it. You know, that is in your Amazon cart. I don't know. I need to go through it again. For somebody who is a new person to journaling, it would be great. But it is definitely more geared towards planning, which is not what I want to do, but it made me think. So if you're interested in creative planning and journaling, this would, like creative bullet journaling or creative planning, this would be great. I'm going to include, like when I do the class, I want to include one section about that. But this whole thing is geared towards creative planning, creative bullet journaling mostly. It does have some of what I think of. She calls it, what does she call it? Scripting your day. Scripting your day is what she calls it's like what Jenny Pinton does, and some other people do it. It's where you write, like wake up at 8:30, check emails, get ready. It's where you script out how the day is going to go, either ahead of time, and then, so it's intentional journaling. It's intentional journal planning. That's what I tend to think of it as. Thanks, Bree. But if you're interested in creative bullet journaling or creative planning, it's worth a go, because it does have some helpful stuff in it. She even tells you how to put together an insert in here. And she does have some doodles in here. But the kind of journaling I'm talking about is the kind of mental, emotional, hey, I'm a journaler and I've been a journaler forever. I started out with Dear Diary journaling. And the kind of journaling I do is a cross between commonplace journaling. I write down facts. I write down thoughts. I write down ideas. I write down how I feel about something. I put little notes to myself in my journaling. And I had quit doing some of that kind of journaling. Sometimes I do things like, all right, let me see if I can. This is still sort of wet. Like, this is my Hello November. And I have a little picture. I have some washi tape. But mostly it's text journaling. I have a couple of hashtags right here. I have something that's in capitalized letters right here. Let me scoot it up, because now I can see that you can't see the whole thing. But what I want to do is next year I want to get the class and I guess open an Etsy shop or something. Would like to do like a website. I have a website on WordPress, through WordPress. It's not a freebie. I pay for it, but it's not the business one. But if this did well, I don't know. I think there's a way to set up where people can buy things on that website. I just haven't done it because I don't have anything for anybody to buy. But now sometimes my journaling varies. It doesn't, like I did that yesterday. Where is the other? This is going to drive me crazy. I have journals everywhere because I've been getting stuff together. Okay. You're a planner. You're trying to become a journaler. See, I'm a journaler. I was a journaler way before I was ever a planner. I plan to be organized because of ADHD. This is my own little vision board. So this is the one where I did this the other day, where I was journaling about using what I have. I put a picture of me from when I went with my daughter. I dressed up as like a gypsy. You know, I did a little bit of, this was just kind of paper that came out of a book that had, I don't know, that looks like a rutabaga or that looks like ginger right there. This came out of a book. This came out of a book or a magazine, and I just cut it because I like the quote. I printed that from Instagram. That's a quote from Neil Gaiman. This came out of a magazine. And I journal about, and this says squirrel brain, because I'm trying to get my thoughts together, because I started doing things the way that other people are doing them, the way that Ryder Carroll talks about doing the bullet journaling. I was following all these different things, doing different things, and my brain works. I can compartmentalize, but I still have to have some kind of grand central station where I'm channeling all of my energy that has to do with like certain things in a way that gets it all out so that I don't forget things. Some Ryder Carroll suggests that you rapid log daily, that you rapid log for your monthly. I am not a rapid logger. I can jot down notes, but I am a journaler at heart. I write things out, and in order for my anxiety and my depression and my ADHD to kind of be under control and sort of in sync, this has to be something I do on a regular basis. It's not very often anymore that I actually do what people think of as vent, as in VENT, or bitch journaling. I don't do that hardly ever anymore. But I do journal my thoughts out. I do write out things. Like this says finish the damn book. I'm not going to be able to finish one of those books. It's just getting too chunky and the whole spine's going to fall apart. A 480 page journal is not going to work for me for a document my life journal. But when I journal, I think about, this is the kind of journaling that I do that really makes sense to me, that helps me make sense of things and putting things down. This is some of the journaling that helps me create coffee chats about subjects that really matter, but this is more of my personal journaling, whereas the coffee chat journaling is once I get this done, then I go to the hey, I've got this topic, let's write about it, and then I write about it, and I'll do some research, I'll write down websites, I'll write down names of videos and who did the video or whatever, and that way and I pull it all together and then I write about it, and this is how my brain processes stuff. So this is something that, see, I want to get better at illustrating. I want to get better at doodling. I want to get better at sketch notes, because I like sketch notes for like my bullet journal pages or my planner pages or whatever you want to call them. But having a journal where I can do all different kinds of things, creative things like this, And that's why I went ahead and used the A5 Enigma and didn't cut it down, because I have an A5 sketchbook, and I'm also going to order a journal for Bree, and I want to start doing more sketches, and I don't want my journals, my document, illustrate my date. This is separate, completely separate from that. And I'm finding that this little A6 is becoming the new little love of my life. It is so compact. I do too. I write, you know, this came on, just so y'all can tell, I got an advertisement in the mail from Geico about how I could save money on my car insurance. And on the back of the envelope, it had this spider. I cut it out. I put it on my page for tomorrow. Now, all I'm writing in this are little to-dos. Now, there might be a page here or there where it has like some notes, but the notes are happening in my B6. And here's the B6. Like, overcoming excuses for not journaling. This is one of my premises for the class I want to do. You know, we say I don't have time to journal. We say that, you know, we're not artistic, but it could be a catch-all journal. It doesn't have to be art. It doesn't have to be art. Now, for those people who do everything in one journal, the only reason I don't do everything in one journal is that I would go through a journal a month. And I'm talking like the B6stology. If I did every single thing, I could probably finish this one journal in a month if I did everything in that journal. I write that much. But I don't like my to-dos on my journal page. I could, if I did that, I'd have to put my to-dos on a Post-it note, and then I would just go through, so it'd be like a running to-do list. And then when I was done, I'd move the Post-it note to the next day until everything got crossed off, and then I'd get a new Post-it note. That's the only way it's going to work for me, no matter how hard I have tried to make the to-do list work on my journal page. It doesn't. And I tried it after One Book July. I did it for months, and it drove me absolutely crazy. Because I got to the point where I wasn't doing my journaling. I was doing bullet journaling. I was doing, like, I started trying. You know, I tried, you know. Victor's drawing. But I get frustrated. Like, if I start doing this, I'll put, and then I'm like, I don't even want, you know, there were lots of days in here where I didn't, and I would try, like, to make it work, and it just does not work for me. You know, because, look, see, it doesn't work for me. Because the pages become, more of the to-do. And you can tell when I'm frustrated, because it gets on my nerves. It frustrates me. I do not like it. Like, this is a pocket. These are these are things that came in during the time period that I had this journal. There's still something in there. But you can tell when I get frustrated, and I finally figured out why a lot of my pages weren't finished. And I started thinking about, like, I left room to finish this, and I never did. But, I don't like blank pages either, but I don't like the to-dos on my pages. And I do not like the to-dos on my pages. And no matter how... Yeah, I like having more than one book. I like having certain kinds of books. So I've broken it down. I took some of the pages out of here because this thing had 200 and something pages left. That's how bulky it was. And there was no way, even after taking a bunch out, I'm not going to be able to finish November. I'm going to take November's page out and put some tape in here, some packing tape, and then it will be through the end of August. So I don't know. I need to order my notebook from Bree real quick, but I can't order it yet. We don't have the money right now. So I was thinking about cutting my sketchbook down to B6. Because it is the sketchbook that has mixed media paper in it. It's a Stillman & Burns it's a A5, and I can cut it down to 5x7 to B6. And use it. Or for November, I might just use, I don't know. But I like doing different kinds of journaling. But I do not like having, like, this was yesterday's page, and I was wrote down some notes about what books. It says 5, but I've actually listed 7. If you were going to start reading Stephen King, which books would I recommend? Because somebody asked me the question, so I wrote down so I can answer their question. I saw a thing. I'm looking at what I want for Christmas. And I was wanting to figure out whether the Surface Pro or the iPad Air or Pro, whichever one, and the pen for drawing would be better, because that's what I want for Christmas, if we can find one at a decent price. So I wanted to watch a review of that. This is my Nano Prep advice, my Nano Prep and advice thing. I'm going to do a video on this. So it's right here. This is Monday's page. And see, I don't mind having to-dos on this, where it's not about my drawing and my adding pictures and stuff, where it's the bullet journal. Because when I do art in the bullet journal, it's usually just at the beginning, when I set it up, and then on the weekly spreads. It's not like all throughout. You know, I mean, I do art in the very beginning, and then after that, I don't do a whole lot of art. It's about getting, like, this is the rapid logging part, which isn't so rapid. And then this is the actual to-do. You got a Surface Pro. It was a waste of money. I heard they're good, but I heard they're slow. Like, what does it say? The guy said the Surface Pro, not great for drawing on. That's what he said. It's really slow. There's a lot of lag. I'm like, okay. But I mean, it's better than what I have now, which is nothing. So, I don't know. Depends on what I can get for how much. But do I really want to get something and then have to turn around and get something else? So that was why I was watching reviews, because I was thinking if it's not going to be good for drawing, then there's no point in me getting it. I've got a laptop and I've got a desktop. I need something I can actually draw on, and where I don't have to mess with Adobe Photoshop stuff, where I can just do that, you know, and I can copy and paste and make them bigger and smaller. Anyway, so I mean, this is where I wrote down a bunch of notes, because this is where I think I'm going to do a video about this, is what I was thinking, and thinking about how, if I could do that, I could set up a journal, because, you know, set up a journal class, figure it out, so that next year, that's my goal, is to have the class finished by this time next year, so that I can put it out. And what would you call that journal? A catch-all journal? A creative journal? Because creativity is not just art. Creativity is writing. It's poetry. In my journals, like where I do this kind of stuff, where I write out things or whatever, I actually write poetry in that. You know, it's actually my creative journal. This is my creative journal. So it's where I do stuff like this, where I do doodles. It's where I write about what's going on for the month, or what my, I don't know. It's hard to, that's why I'm still trying to kind of wrap my thoughts around it. It's very slow. Couldn't even watch YouTube videos. Oh, that's not good. So yeah, I won't be getting that. But, so that's where I'm at. If I could take the paper that I took out of here, which is still in some signatures, and then I have a few signatures, because look at this. I have probably about 200 pages in here, which would make a journal. But I don't know, once I take this out, how to make it a journal. I don't know how to make it a journal. I know how to take it out because I undo these strings, and you can tell where I went through separately and I kept taking the strings out, I don't know. I'm still working on things because I'm at this place where things are coming together for me, and I'm getting past the, hey, okay, Ryder Carroll says this is what you need to do, and I did it for months, and it helped me figure some things out. But now that I've figured some things out, this is not what I want to do anymore. You're watching me on your iPad Pro. The larger size? Okay. I'll have to write down the information. If you take it out, you have to be really careful to not rip the pages. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm being careful. I got my little tiny scissors. Because I just can't take that. Journal is just so damn... This is with a bunch of pages out of it already. So this will tell you. Okay. The last page, it goes from 345 to 442. So I took almost 100 pages out of it right here. And I'm just cutting strings. I think I ripped one page. So I've been pretty good, but I'm going to it's to the point where this part curls over. And I used to like the chunky journal, and I do like when they get chunky. But I think anything about 100 page, anything past, this is 200 pages. 227 pages. That's it for me. This should be the end of this journal. I can't take it. I cannot. And it's because I add stuff to my pages, tip-ins and photos and little baggies, and I can't take it. Yeah, I've gotten to a point, let's not put my hair in the coffee. I've gotten to a point where I don't want super thick journals anymore. For this kind of stuff where I'm not really going to be adding anything in, except occasionally, I'm okay with that. A thinner journal can get chunky and still be functional. Yes. So, yeah. I'm going to be sending you everything I can, Bree. I want some more vellum. I did realize I do want a little bit of vellum. I think what I'm going to do is have seasonal journals. If you can afford it, get the 12.9. So is the Pro way better than the Air? Bree just got an iPad. So if I want to use the pencil and I want to draw and use Procreate, is there that much of a difference between an Air and a Pro? If I get one, can I edit videos on it? Can I use iMovie? Can I use a keyboard? Can I work it like a laptop? Oh, you can't print on vellum anymore? Well, damn. I can print on vellum. I'll print it myself. Pro is better. To binding curl, yes. You don't have experience with the Air, so I take it you have the Pro. Okay. If you go to Michael's and buy vellum, I will. I'm going to ship a whole bunch of stuff to you very soon because I'm okay with doing some of my journaling. I just won't rip all the pages out of that journal. Keep November in it. I don't care about what month. I don't have to start brand new journals in January. And I'm not doing, you had the Air, you love the Pro. Yeah. See, I wouldn't mind getting an Air if I were going to get like a refurbished one. If I knew it would work for me until I got used to it. I wish I could find a large book like Ancient Tombs with thousands of pages and just use the rest of your life. Yeah, except you wouldn't be able to hold it in your lap. I made, where is it? Hold on a second. I made one. This is all tissue paper that's been dyed and put on here to look like leather. This, I'm writing a book about witches and I wanted to make, and then I did this for myself. So, it has posts in it because I even have ribbons in it. And it's so heavy. I've been putting some of my artwork in it. Like I did that and the other thing. I did that. And then I have another one that my husband bought me. Yeah, I made that. This came off of a candle. And I saved it. And then I have one that my husband bought me. And this one looks differently depending on which way you do it. Like if you hold it this way, it's an owl. If you turn it around this way, it looks like a goddess. Like these are real leaves and things. That, however, got on there. This is more information. I did that. And she got all over this page. I mean, all over this page. But I had to take a ruler and pencil, and this is like rag paper, not so great for using a fountain pen on. But there's a lot of people that won't want to see this stuff on this channel on YouTube. When we had that solar eclipse, I put the little sunglasses in here and took the pictures, and we have I documented it. So mostly, like, a lot of these pages aren't referenced for me. They're just more for information. I'm more of a nature kind of person. I like, you know, I like, if I had to pick, I mean, I don't know, but I like this, I like studying this kind of stuff. And this is something I did in Romney's Patreon class. We were learning about different herbs, and I even put the little bay leaves in there. And I drew bay leaves, and these were sunflowers. Yeah, that's about it. Now, this journal, I don't even know where he got it. I know it's Celtic. We went to this place in Tennessee when we were on vacation called the Celtic Cottage, and that's where he got my ring and my earrings and my necklace. My great-grandfather was from Scotland, and my great-grandmother was from Ireland. And then on my mom's side, they're Scottish, Irish, and Native American. So when we went to Tennessee, they had this place, and the guy that ran it, he went to Scotland all the time. And he brought back jewelry that was handmade in Scotland. And so my earrings and my necklace, and that's okay, Brandy, I'm not going anywhere. My earrings and my necklace, it has the Celtic stuff on it, and that's because my people are from there. They're Celtic. My grandfather, when he would get really tired, or when he'd have a bit too much beer, you could hear his accent. And he was born here, but his grandmother and his daddy sounded Scottish, his mom sounded Irish, his grandmother was around him. You could hear it would come out, even though he was raised here. You know, his mother came over from Ireland, my grandfather, and his father's father came over from Scotland. So I love Celtic stuff. Anything and everything Celtic. I like dark purples. I like really dark, deep greens. I love dark reds. I like the jewel tones. It's like orange. I don't like orange, but I like deep, dark orange. You know, what people call blood orange. You know, but I've been thinking about, like, doing the class. I'm not ready to do the class, but I'm ready to start preparing to do the class. Now, I've talked for 40 minutes now and not gotten where I was going with this. So I'm going to be trying to put together an outline. It's one of the projects I'm working on along with my actual novel for NaNoWriMo. I'm going to be trying to put together the outline for said book, because when I started reading this book, I went, it's not, now this is a whole lot better than the planner book, which is, oh geez, do we even have it out? Maybe not. Oh, here it is. This one. It's like This is a bunch of other people. This is all the same stuff you can find on YouTube. The only reason I really got this and is it did have a few things in it that I found that were helpful. It's because Babette is mentioned in here. Now, if they'd have mentioned Bree and Bree making her notebooks and Babette making her monkey knots, I'd have gotten it. You know, like they do have leather, transfer, faux dory. They do have some good stuff in here. But painted canvas journal planner, you know, I'm never, you know, but this one was more helpful to me. Like this one is more projects. The bullet journal stuff in here, I thought was pretty, I could find way better stuff on YouTube than the planner stuff in there. But this was actually more helpful for that kind of stuff. If you are somebody who wants to do an Omni journal, this would be great for an Omni journal. It's also great to kind of help you figure some things out, like what you like, because it does help you get in the mood to go, hey, look, there are options. I can do other things. But one of the things that I'm finding is that by following so strictly and then but creatively the bullet journal method, I've lost my own method. And I needed to kind of simplify, so I did Ryder Carroll's method for a good while, for months. And I did do it creatively, mind you. But when I finally got back into doing this kind of stuff, watching you rummage through your room, wouldn't it be awesome if we could all spend time in each other's rooms? Ooh and ein. Yeah, except that I just dropped a bunch of stuff. But that's okay, because that means I need to clean. If I'm dropping stuff when I'm pulling stuff out, then that means I need to clean. And I'm nesting right now. I'm cleaning and organizing and cooking because of NaNoWriMo. So, you know, but I kept trying to do some of this, but I felt pressured to follow like this certain method and what I had in my head. And you know, you have to really follow your own thing. You really have to follow your own thing. I was watching one of my friends' videos popped up in a recommended for you notification thing. You know, they pop up when you're watching something on YouTube. And it was an older video, and it was something that they don't do now. But I was watching the video because it happened to be on the TV because I had stuff in a queue, and it came up as I had just finished watching what was in the queue while I journaled. And it came up. And this person used to be on Patreon. I didn't even know they were on Patreon when they were on Patreon. And I was like, they had made like some PDFs, and it was these girls, like it was a bunch of cute stuff, but it's so not their style now, you know. And it was really cute, and it made me realize it's okay that your style changes, that you evolve, that you get out of your comfort zone and do things that aren't your style, try things, you know. Experiment. And that's what I've been doing lately, is experimenting. About 4.5 years ago, I started this course called No Excuses Art Journaling by Gina Rossi Armstrong. And she had this agenda from Barnes & Noble. It was a desk diary agenda kind of thing. And she was collaging and watercoloring and all kinds of things all throughout that agenda. She would set up the month. She would color code the months. And I still color code my months. And I started doing that. And I had started doing that before I even really was doing Fobonichi. And then as I started Fobonichiing, I started doing more of the No Excuses art journaling as well. And that's kind of what led me towards the Omni Journal. And the Omni Journal Omni Journal means various things. It could mean where you add your planning and your art and your text journaling, your creative journaling, your personal journaling, your commonplace journaling. You could, where you add whatever kind of journaling all into one. But it could also be where it's just this is actually an Omni Journal. It's a creative journal. It's a catch-all journal. It's got a, Omni means all different kinds of things all in one place. I'm just not putting planning in here at all. I don't want anything to do with bullet journaling or planning in this. That has no place here whatsoever at all. My brain does not want any kind of planning in this whatsoever at all. You know? And I'm okay with that. What I'm not, you know, especially now that I have found the love of the A6. If I could find a folio in the same color that I got from Brandy from the Buy Sell Trade group, in this burgundy, or in that new Christmas red, man, that's what I want for Christmas. I want an iPad Pro and a pen, the iPad pencil thing, and I want an A6 folio with a pocket on the front. And a burgundy wine or red color. I'd even take the black, but I want a pocket on the front. Because see, this one was the black and it had the brown pocket on the front, but I dyed that pocket so that it would match this. It would sort of kind of match this burgundy. So, you know, that's where I'm at. I've been, Patreon has got a lot of this as I was going through this. This week I've been doing a lot of day in the life kind of filming. And I just finished uploading the second part. I'm about to, when I get out of here, I'm going to upload the third part. I'm going to do more of that for next month, like behind the scenes kind of stuff. But you can tell this is the little fabric thing. And if it had a pocket and it closed, because when it's in my purse, things are going to fall out. But I am in love. This is the white 68 GSM dot grid Tomaway River paper. And it is smooth like butter. Oh. It smells good. It feels good. The dots are faint on this and on the Enigma and the A5. They're not so faint that you can't see them, but they're faint enough so that when you are drawing or journaling or whatever, it doesn't like, you don't boom, see all the dots. I don't know. I thought about cutting the Enigma down. I also have a Breeze that is about half the pages, but I want what I want, right? So, I missed the A5, and I like to do my art journaling, my document my life kind of journaling in a B6. B6 is my love. I like this A6 right here for this, and I have fallen, like, this is just, y'all, when I first started this, even when I with the pencil, I was like, and I got my little bookmark back out that says, I love big books, and I cannot lie. I was like, oh, you know, this is what feels right to me. So, next time Bree goes to Florida, I'm going to track her down, and, well, I'm not a stalker, but I'm going to meet her, maybe somewhere, so I can have coffee with her, so I can pick her brain. No, I'm just kidding. So I love Bree to death. But I keep thinking about these, like Abigail just mentioned, you know, wouldn't it be awesome if we could all spend time? And it would. When I watch certain people like Bree, or when I watch My Life Mitts, when I watch Courtney, Roe, Miss Vicky B, Talks from the Heart, is that the lady? She's friends with Sarah Martinez. I feel like I'm sitting across from them with my cup of coffee and my journal while I watch their videos. I mean, is that how y'all feel? I mean, that's how I feel. When I have noticed, especially the ones that I am actually closer to, like when I'm watching a video from Bree or from Ro or from Leanne, and it's not a live video, I will answer a question out loud. I'm like, they can't hear me. I have to remind, because I do. And when I make coffee chats that I film, I imagine one of you or a few of you sitting across from me when I'm looking at the little lens thing on the camera. That's what I'm imagining. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Brie. I have actually answered questions. I've actually asked questions, answered questions when I watch, it was your video, as a matter of fact, that I was talking about where the style has changed. I happened to watch an old video of yours from when you were doing Patreon, and you had Journal Your Heart or something like that. It had you had made PDFs, and it had this girl, the face, and the part of the face was off, and you put the face right there on the bottom part of your journal page. And I looked, and I was like, I don't know how that that video popped up, and I had never seen that video. I've seen almost all of your videos, but I've never seen that video. I'm like, what in the hell? I was like, how did I miss this? And I'm like, when did she do this kind of stuff? I don't think I've ever really seen her do that. That's so not her now, And then it hit me. I was like, you know what? That's why you're having issues. It's because you are thinking you have to stay in this one thing, but you have evolved past this one thing. I'm hopefully whenever I do my stuff, most of my stuff, you can tell it's me. Like, I could tell that was you that created that, but that's not your thing now. Or maybe, it's different. And I was thinking, I am evolving past certain things. And I don't want to do the same thing if it's not making me happy. If it's not truly bringing me joy and I'm not growing from it. Some of the things I need to be doing that were the same things, the things that anchor me, the things that ground me, like doing this kind of journaling. I like putting a picture from nature, a picture that I take, a real life picture, or a picture I find, or something, where it's something about what's going on in my life, Yeah, we do grow and change. And I think I was a bit, sometimes we get so stuck in our own heads, so like in this, that we don't see the forest for the trees. We really don't see the forest for the trees. And sometimes you have to have something that wakes you up, that aha moment. That's why I thought it was really funny, because I was watching something that was from way back, and I was like, well, I could tell, well, I knew it was your art because you were showing it in your video, you had created it, and I could tell because of the illustrative style. But I'm like, it's time for you to start growing past it. It made me think, what do I really want from my journaling? I can follow. I miss the burgundy. I miss that brandy. You get to a place where you go, okay, this is where I'm at. This is where I was. This is where I want to be. Maybe it's time I let go of certain things, and other things I synced together. That's the word, sync. And it's time, I'm at that place where I've grown so much the last couple of years. This month, at the beginning of this month, was the 2-year anniversary of my dad's death. During this year, my mom went back in the hospital and was in the hospital for a week again. There have been a lot of things. I had a grandbaby, another grandbaby, a little granddaughter. And my eyes are opening and shifting and changing, and I'm evolving. And sometimes it takes like something, and you start thinking about your own thing. And that's what happened with me yesterday evening when I was on my couch with my journal, and I'm writing down stuff like right here. This was me last night writing down, you know, writing down the NaNoWriMo prep stuff. I was writing down overcoming my own excuses, or other people overcoming their excuses for journaling, you know, for not having the time, or saying I'm not artistic, or saying I'm not good enough. Oh, I couldn't draw that. You don't know that you can't draw it until you try. And even when you do try, you don't, not very many people get it the very first go, you know. So you're journaling in the A5 and planning in the A6. The A6 is so cute. You write big. Yeah, because I'm making to-do list in the A6. I'm actually still, I'm actually going to be art journaling. My document, my day stuff is going to be in the B6. I'm doing my creative journaling in the A5, which is where I do the majority of like text journaling. So if I want to be creative and I'm doing text journaling, or I want to make PDFs for my patrons, or I just feel like doing something bigger, I can do it here, or I can do it in my sketchbook. This is where I can do anything creative. But the B6, once I get my notebook from Bree, it will be, it's here somewhere. Here it is. It will be this, you know. My daughter in these cloth diapers that have these prints on them. I love them, especially every time she gets a picture of the baby, you know. So this kind of journaling is going to go in the B6 that I get from Bree. But where I've been doing things like this, and which for some people will be in their bullet journal, but I have this journal with me a lot. You know, I tried something different. I put a watercolor wash down, and then I drew, so it's black and white, and then I journal. Everyone says that sketching is a talent, but if I was honest, I see such growth in my drawing ability once I started sketching on a regular basis. Drawing is a skill. It's acquired by practice. Yes, exactly. When our kids are little, or your brothers and sisters, or your nieces or nephews, or you, or whoever, when we're children, we don't know how to read. We don't know how to talk. We don't know how to walk. We don't know how to crawl. We don't know how to draw. We learn how to do every single one of those things. We prioritize writing and reading and walking and talking and potty training. Once you get them to talking and walking, sometimes you go, oh my goodness. but the truth is, we prioritize certain things. And if when we're kids, a kid shows an interest in art, you know, then the more that they do it, the better they get. Some kids never really show an interest in it, and they only do it when they're in art class in school. Art class was my favorite class. I'm sure my husband's favorite class was music. Mine was art. An English class. Art and English. Because we got to read books and we got to do book reports. I liked doing book reports. I liked reading a book and then talking about it. But that's where do not use your heat gun whenever you have pictures. Yeah, the dye from the tickets got all over Kayla's face. But see, I've been doing different things. I've been doing doodles on a smaller scale. I've been practicing sketching. I've been practicing looking at things in real life, like bottles of ink, or pens, or notebooks. And the more that I practice from real life, art and PE were your favorites. The more that I practice from real life, the better I get. Even if it still is not on the scale that it could be, it's getting better. It's getting easier. It's making more sense. I still suck with perspective. in some things. Like some things, I get it. And it makes sense. And I can do the angle and how it is. And then other things, round things, hurt me. I have issues with a round thing and perspective. But square things and perspective, I don't have an issue with. Which is funny because I need to practice like Liz Steele and just start drawing my coffee mug every day. Excuse me. Oh, my allergies. I'm just going to go with pen and ink and work on mastering the fundamentals. If that's so far, I'll be happy. Yeah. I'm not a real big, my allergies. I'm not a real big, I used to go, oh my goodness. I wanted the spray inks and the little stamp inks and the dauber inks. I'm so sorry. And I wanted the distress stains is what they're called. I wanted the Dr. P.H. Martin or whatever it is, the watercolor liquids. I wanted a bunch of those. And I wanted, you see people doing all these fun, creative things with them, but I've gotten a few different things, and I realized that what I go to, my go-to ink, watercolor pencils, watercolor crayons. That's about, the thing I use the most, the thing I still use the most is probably that little tiny, and it's somewhere, that MacGyver platinum carbon fountain pen. I draw with it a lot. I draw with Faber-Castell pens, and I draw with a ballpoint. I do not like to write with a ballpoint. I cannot stand writing with a ballpoint, but I love drawing with a ballpoint. And the more that I do, that's why I was telling you that in this is the kind of stuff that I love to do. This spider, like I said, it came from a Geico envelope. That came in the mail because they wanted me to switch to Geico so I could save on car insurance. And I stuck it on the page for tomorrow. I like everyday ephemera. I like things that I get that come in the mail, or when we go out to eat, or when we go, where did we go? So I got a new candle, and there's the sticker from the candle. We got a new, we got a filter for our sink that goes on the faucet, and I also got a bottle, I know it's plastic, they didn't have glass, but it has the filter in it, so I can have filtered water anywhere I'm at. I can take it with me, and I do. I carry it all around. So I drew my bottle, my Brita bottle. David got new boots. I stuck that in here. What cover and size? What? This or this? Because this is the Nanami paper micro dot that was A5 and that I cut down to B6. This is Taroko Designs A6 with the 68 GSM from Etsy, Taroko Design Shop. It is the, Taroko Design. It is the 68 GSM. It's the A6 Enigma. And he sent me this cover with it, the little one. He sent me this cover with it. And the cover feels... Sylvia from Write Your Life was talking about this. She got one of these very similar with a Midori notebook. But this is like this burgundy color. It is a canvas. Kind of. It feels like a mix between fabric and paper. It feels very much like a mix between fabric and paper. This is the only ink I ever use. And usually I don't put it real heavy, and if I do, I just stick it on something else and stamp it first once and then put it on my page. But if you're using 52 GSM, you have to be careful, because the 52 GSM is lighter weight. But it feels... It almost feels textured. You wonder if it's a washable paper. If I put water on it, how will I know? Well, it didn't bead up, so it's not waxed. You like how I just threw water on my page, on the thing? How much is the A6? I can tell you in just a second. A6 was 20 bucks. The A5 is 30 bucks. Not a whole lot of difference. Yeah, you can't even tell I did that with the water. It's just paper. I mean, you know, I've got the black Hobonichi cover and the clear cover on cover. I'm just waiting for my coffee sticker to go with it. But this matched that so perfectly. If I had a clear cover to go on this, I would just use this. Because the A6 makes it bulky. The A6 makes the cover, the A6 Hobonichi cover makes this so much bigger. The blank hobos. If you like 68 GSM paper better, yes. Because I'm telling you, this paper is divine. It is, okay, you know your journal with the 68 GSM? Imagine it with dots on it. A6 size. But you didn't have to make it. And the dots are faint, so, and I got a little bored. The dots are faint. You can't, I mean, you can see them, but you can't see them. Let me find a page that, yeah, that, I don't know. A6, B6, and A5. And y'all, to tell you the truth, I'm going to end up with four journals for the whole, like 4 journals. And the other journals gonna be, I have an A6 Stology, and it's just for doing stuff like this, where I do, it's the bullet journaling. I did stick a few photos in here, but let me, so, like, oh, I'm behind in this. Like, this is me bullet journaling. I do a lot of I love this quote by Jenny Lawson. You don't have to go to some private school to be an artist. Just look at the intricate beauty of cobwebs. Spiders make them with their butts. Anyway, this was Preptober stuff. I need to fill this out because I actually did this in my bigger notebook, and then I need to go back and fill it in. So this is what it looks like whenever I bullet journal. Because all throughout the day, I take notes. And this is how my day ends up. Like, I was thinking of self-care ideas. Things that... I had something to go here, and now I don't know what was supposed to go there. But yeah, this is me bullet journaling. So I've already got Astrology. And I don't, for bullet journaling, for this kind, it doesn't really matter. And I do like how that turned out. This is the only pumpkin I've done that's turned out really, really good. My most used and favorite art supplies: pens and pencils, watercolor, water brushes, watercolor pencils, colored pencils, sketchbook, my pouch, an eraser, some washi tape, ink, correction tape, glue, everyday ephemera, my journal, and a pen wrap. That's it. I don't have a whole bunch of fancy stuff on there. I was supposed to mail my... See, this is where it says mail signatures to Bree, because I have some that I made. I don't know, Bree, if you really want, but my holes are pretty big in that. When I was sewing them, my holes are kind of... But yeah. Now, see, I do like to do a little bit of art when I do set up the month, but once I do the setup, that's it. I'm pretty much done with the art, except for throwing random bits, like throwing some stickers and some washi tape, and I might do a little bit of art for the weather. And, you know, I like doing stickers and bits of you know, this I can't do. I can't do all the watercolor because then I can't read my writing. And the writing doesn't stand out. The watercolor does. So I can be creative, but I can't be too creative when I plan. Otherwise, there's, you know, I'm distracted by all the art, and, you know. So yeah, I have been on here for an hour and a half, y'all. It doesn't feel like I've been on here that long. I like this. I've been tempted to try one of your A6 cork covers with a pocket on the front, Brie. I need one with some kind of red burgundy front cover. You know. So I'm matchy, but not matchy. Because see, I like how this looks. Like, I like the black with the cork. Or maybe, yeah. No, I gotta go put my books back up. When I get this done, once this gets done, I will go in and leave the link to those two journal books, the one about the planning and the one about the organized journaling or whatever, organized planning journaling thing. You know how all of this got started? And then I'm going to go. Because this is my 5-year anniversary for YouTube this month. On the 14th was 5 years I've been on YouTube. I think it was 2014. October 14th is my daughter's birthday. So yeah, it was 5 years ago. I started doing NaNoWriMo prep videos. And after that, I did all of my journals. And I was, from the time I hit 5th or 6th grade until 5 years ago, when I journaled just like, I mean, you might not have quite as much of this stuff, but this is how I journal. Maybe without the watercolor, but this is how I journaled. It was like smash booking before there was smash booking. I didn't have any washi tape back then, and if you wanted something stuck down, and you either use Scotch tape, packing tape, or glue, or whatever. But this is how I journaled back then. I didn't have this. I would doodle with a pen, with a ballpoint pen or a gel pen. I don't know if we even had gel pens in the late 70s and early 80s. It's probably ballpoint pen or a felt tip pen. But that's how I journaled. And until about 4.5, 5 years ago, that's how I was still journaling. I mean, I would put stuff in, keepsake, memorabilia, that kind of stuff, a picture, a receipt, a stub, a pamphlet, but, and I doodle every now and again, especially like if I was on the phone, because back in the day when you had a phone, you had to sit down, like if we had a really long cord, unless you had a cordless, so I would have the phone and I'd be in the chair or on the floor in the living room with the cord from the kitchen, from where the phone was at, and that I would sit down when I would be talking to my best friend or my little boyfriend or whatever, my cousin, and I'd be on the phone and I'd be doing stuff, which is not a whole lot's changed, except I tend not to talk on the phone like that anymore. But I journaled like that. And then I got into adding art to the words and the memorabilia stuff. I mean, I used to scrapbook a long time ago, but I never got into it the way everybody else was. I couldn't afford to do all that. I was a single parent, so I made a lot of my stuff myself that I put in the scrapbook. I scrapbooked the same way that I journaled. It was keepsake, memorabilia kind of stuff, with the pictures. And I would use my typewriter. Back then, it was a word processor, and I would type stuff up on it, and then I would cut it out and put it in. But I started doing all of this way back then, and that's how, like, all of this, I did this one video about a whole bunch about my journals, and that's how it started. Isn't that wild? I feel like, I mean, I can't believe it's been that long. And if my art back then, it had been 30 years since I'd really done any art. So I'm just now getting back to, and I really want to improve. And that's why I've been trying to, but I don't want to not text journal. My anxiety and my depression and stuff like that really, I have a typewriter up there. My word processor, my brother word processor is up in the attic. But that's why I think it's so important to get back to this, and what I have and the other one, they're different. The other one is more about making plans for things, like, and asking myself questions, like, to do videos with. This one, this one is all creative. This one has to do with creativity because my whole life is about creativity. But these are for coffee chats. Specifically, like, these are where, I am doing stuff to formulate ideas for coffee chats and things like that. Alright, y'all. Does anybody have any questions? I think I covered everything. I think I did. Yeah, I want to know what this. I'm gonna have to ask. I'm gonna have to look on his website and see if he has these covers listed. If not, Bree, I can send it to you so you can see what it is. I'll send it to you when I send you my paper, my vellum and stuff. But yeah, thanks for showing those giant tune books. You know what you want for Christmas. If you look on Facebook, there's a Facebook group. I think it's Pagan Planning or something like that. Anyway, there might be people who have ideas about where you could get some of those for less. If you look on Etsy, some of them are going to be really high, and then some of them are going to be high, and then some of them are going to be mid-range, and then some of them are going to be less expensive, like, inexpensive. You don't, depending on, I made mine with parchment paper. I bought a big thing of parchment paper, the one that I made from Amazon, and punched the holes in it. Cleaning while you were watching, but you enjoyed it. I need to be cleaning. So yeah. But the one that David got me, we got it from a shop, and it was a pretty penny because it came from a shop, a place that sold Celtic stuff. So, but it is handmade. I don't remember who the artist is. I talked about it in one of the videos that I made originally, like a very long time ago when I first got it. The lady who made it also makes these quilts, and she makes tapestries, Celtic tapestries. She makes a whole lot of different stuff, and her artwork is really pretty, but it's very Celtic. So y'all have a good one. And I'm going to do some more research for the iPad Pro. And I'm going to, that's all I want for Christmas. That's all I want. It's probably going to end up being my Christmas and my Valentine's present. So, yeah. I love this. I'm hooked. I might actually start doing the writing stuff in here, so that I only have 3 journals instead of, like, when this B6 gets finished, I may end up doing, like, my writing, my little notes stuff in here. I do love this. Oh, you're welcome. I enjoyed it. I feel like it's Friday for some reason instead of Wednesday. Maybe because Halloween is tomorrow. I don't know. Or maybe, I don't know. But y'all have a great one, and I'm so glad that y'all were here. I had such a good time. Thank y'all for being here and for hanging in there with me. And I have a video that I'm going to get up probably Friday or Saturday with Nano and everything. I'm a bit off schedule because I've been prepping, and this guy left this comment on one of my really old videos about all the time I spent making, it was an old one, all the time I spent making videos on writing and about writing and blah blah blah. I could have been writing, and he went on a rant about how self-publishing is demonizing the publishing industry, and it's not, you're not real, it's not real, you're not a real whatever. And I just couldn't even put a message back. I will, Tamara. I couldn't even message back because on the one hand, part of what he said in the very beginning was very constructive criticism. It was very constructive, and that's why I haven't been making as many writing videos at all, because there's only so many times you can say how to do, I don't have a book published. I'm still working on my books, But all the time that I spent making videos about writing or advice on writing when I haven't even finished my own book, felt like a waste of time because I could be writing. And I would rather be making journal videos or art videos where I'm actually creating things, which keeps my anxiety at bay, than making writing videos when that time I spent making extra videos, which Wednesdays used to be Writer Wednesday for me. That was the day I did writing stuff. So starting next week, that will be the day that I do like a NaNoWriMo kind of video. If I do, I'm gonna try to do weekly updates during November. But at the same time, as the message, as his comment proceeded, then it got nasty. He was a jerk. And I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to let that affect me to that point. I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to, whatever. I was thinking to myself, I could write a book this November. I could work on my fiction novel while at the same time outlining my nonfiction. We do get our best ideas. I do get ideas by talking and sharing. And I also find that when I'm talking and sharing, I can pull my ideas together easier. I'm a read it, write it, say it, do it, teach it, learn it kind of person. So I learn, the more I show or talk, the better I learn, and I learn a lot when I'm editing like videos. When I'm editing art videos, my art video, I can see so much more of what I did wrong when I'm editing a video. And with writing, when I can take a step back from it, it's the same thing. When I can take a step back and I can sit down and talk with somebody about that, about like my issue with writing. Like I talked about in the very beginning of this video, when I opened that book and I started reading it, I was like, I could write that book. But I don't want to write that book. I want to write a book about true creative journaling. Because a lot of us who have anxiety, who have depression, who have ADHD, who have any kind of mental illness, journal is a form of therapy. And it also, creativity is a form of therapy. When you add any kind of creativity to your journaling, it is helpful. It de-stresses, and it helps you figure out things. Like you can figure out patterns and things like that. So journaling doesn't always have to be about planning, and it doesn't always have to be about art. There are those of us who journal, and sometimes it adds a little bit of that stuff in it, but it's not always about that. And some of us don't journal any other way, and I think the text journaling, where you can add creativity to it, where you can be creative with your text journaling, your writing, your written journaling, the actual writing out your thoughts and feelings and keeping up with things and things like that. I think it's important. So I was thinking, yeah, I could outline and at least start setting up and figuring out some of this, because I tend to kind of, if I get stumped with fiction, I need something else, like one book. So I thought that might be a good thing. I don't know. We're going to see. Yeah, you can't let people like that rent space in your mind. A lot of people have very negative views on self-publishing. Sometimes it makes sense and other times not, but your journey is yours. Yeah, and he can kick rocks. I agree. His comment has merit, but I do like the writing videos and discussions. Definitely, I started just writing down dialogue, and it was like my subconscious was talking. Yeah, but I'm gonna do Writer Wednesday videos coming, and journaling is very therapeutic. And if it hadn't been for journaling and for reading, when my daddy died when I was little, I don't even want to think about how much therapy I'd had gone through. And then this past couple of years, with my dad dying of cancer, my mom almost dying, my stepdad, man, if it hadn't been for journaling, I would have went insane. Yeah, I would have lost. Me too. I would. My, it's how I maintain my sanity. Because sometimes I get bogged down with overloaded, overwhelmed with all of the ideas and the thoughts and the things. So, yeah. But I'm going to write a book about creative journaling. And I'm also going to, I think, or I'm going to at least outline my course, the class that I want to take. And maybe that will help outline the book, or outline the book. And maybe it'll help me get on the ball with creating the class. I just don't know anything about how to do any of that. Social media and technology is not my forte. So, but y'all have a good one. God, it's almost been 2 hours now. I'm gonna go because I'll just keep talking, and I have to go potty, and my coffee has gotten cold, and I need to get me some more water, and it's time for a snack. You started journaling in 5th grade. Your mom told me to journal through being bullied. You also bottle things up because you want people to think I had it all. Yeah. Not there. That was supposed to be together. Yeah. When I was 7, after my daddy died, I had gotten this little pink diary with a little lock and a little key. And I started writing letters to him in that diary. And I wrote a letter to him every single day in that diary. And that's how I started journaling. Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.